The topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the host and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Connected Table Live. We're your hosts, Melanie Young and David Ransom. You're insatiably curious culinary couple. We travel the world to bring you the amazing places we visit, people we meet, wines we drink, and foods we eat. Hopefully to inspire you to take the trip, because life is short. Or at least enjoy wonderful things stateside if you're not traveling. We'll show you where to find these amazing products that we discover. So we are broadcasting from Greece today, where we recently were on a wonderful trip. We actually attended a big fat Greek wedding, and we spent some time in Athens and the northern Peloponnese, which you'll hear about. But today we're going to actually take you to an area that I think a lot of people don't think about visiting, or it doesn't register. It didn't to me until I was first introduced to it. It's the region of Attica, which is actually the metropolitan area and surrounding area around Athens, near the airport, and up into Athens, and even where we were in the Saronic Islands of Hydra and Aegina and Portos. And we, as busy travelers, and many busy travelers, just zip off to Athens and get into their hotel and head to the Parthenon and figure out where to eat. But this region is gorgeous. Look at the picture behind us. Just beautiful. And
that's actually a picture that I took, Melanie, of when we were sitting on the coast in Nissos, and had a wonderful lunch right on the coast, over under a pergola overlooking this beautiful sea. And it was such a beautiful day. We had to show it as our background.
So we're also going to show you a little video, but first let's set it up. So our guest today is a founder of she's literally a culinary cultural tour curator of Attica and the area, and can really pick you up at the airport and take you, if you have a long layover, on an amazing trip to taste and feel and have a sensuous experience in this area. Her name is, I hope I don't butcher it, Marina Kavallieraki. That's a Crete name, but she grew up in Athens. She's the founder and tour designer of Voúryia, which is custom culinary tours. They could be a few hours, a half day or more. We took one, and it was an easy 40-minute air-conditioned cab to meet her. And then she took us around, and we met so many wonderful producers, which we're going to talk about. But just to set it up, we're going to show a quick video. Thank you to our listeners while we show this, to give you an idea of what Marina is doing, because it's a great experience.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Athens.
Join us in a journey through time and explore the authentic Greek hospitality. Explore the cultural heritage of Mesogaia. Meet local people and find out unrevealed secrets of this land. Enjoy private culinary experiences and discover local Greek products. Stunning natural beauty. A beautiful destination in all 4 seasons, whether you are on a city break or having a layover. Join our daily trips to experience a little bit more of Greece, or as we say in Greek, λίγο ακόμα Ελλάδα.
Wow, it's making me want to go back. I mean, this is literally right near the Athens International Airport, and a 40-minute drive from Athens, which is a bustling, one of the major metropolitan areas of Europe. So it's a great experience, particularly if you love the Earth. The Middle Earth is what Mesogaia means. So let's bring on our guest, Marina Kavallieraki, who is the founder of Voúryia, and we'll talk more about this area. Yes,
Hi.
yes.
Hello. Yasu,
Yeah.
nice to see you again.
Yes, it's really lovely to see you. Just for our viewers, it is nighttime in Greece, where Marina is. And she joined us, and we're so glad. So, as we like to say, a lot of people, like to do their bucket list trips, and they check off Athens, and they got to go to the Parthenon, they got to go to the, this museum and that, and stroll and go to the key squares. But people need to understand that to experience the real Greece, you've got to get to the land. You've got to get to the land and see how things are grown and go to the villages. And really, that's what you do. Now, let's get into the heart of the matter. Marina, you were born and raised in Athens. So you have a Cretan name because you have a Cretan roots. What tell us about your background and what brought you into this desire to create these tours, because it wasn't initially what you studied or were doing.
No, absolutely not. So, as you said, I was born in Athens, in Attica, and I live in Athens. But my family, from my dad's side, is originated from the island of Crete. So this is something very, very important, and that I kept closely to my heart and to my soul throughout all my years of adolescence. And furthermore, so my background. So I'm a French teacher, actually. So I studied French literature, comparative French literature at the University of Burgundy in Dijon, France. I have been practicing. I have been a teacher for many, many years. But at one point of my life, I wanted to do other things. And I found a job as a coordinator of a unique children's play area at Athens International Airport. The play area, which actually looked more like a nursery as a playground, because what we were trying to do is to offer some quality times to families traveling, and that they had a small or a bigger Athens layover. So there was a lot of play, a lot of culture, and a lot of engagement, and a lot of tips that my team and I especially when they cover like all citizens. At one point, when COVID around the globe, the play area unfortunately took some time spending and thinking what I really like doing. So I really like doing stories because of my literature background, and I really like telling stories about the people, the products, the land, and culture. So I decided that I would like to create a travel agency offering all that, but not at the center of Athens, in the region of Mesogaia, where my family live actually.
Well, it's wonderful. Just there were a little bit of, just so our listeners of you know, this is live in the middle of a massive heat wave, both here in the United States and in Greece. So if we have a little audio, it's because the world doesn't understand heat waves yet. But just to kind of recap a little bit, you were doing this special.
I totally understand.
Yeah, I didn't even know there were children's programs at an airport, but how wonderful, because they should be. And many Americans in particular, have these crazy layovers that we dread. I was talking to somebody about it a couple of days ago. So you really saw an opportunity to create short or half day, whatever is needed, tours, so that people aren't stuck in the airport waiting all day, or if they have to check out of their hotel and all day to leave, or maybe they just arrive, and you created these. And you actually are spotlighting an area that many of us, including David and I, didn't really understand. Like when we were first mentioned Attica, I said, well, where's Attica? Like, in fact, I think we have a map. Juan's our engineer. I think we have a map to show Attica, if we pop that up, because we had no idea where it was. There, it's a little small, but it's describe the area to us. It's a little small map because we didn't want to hide your face, I guess.
So Attica, yes. Attica is the name of a large region.
Mm-hmm. Okay, wait.
Okay, so we have Attica.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I see the map now. So this is the map of Attica. So I offer tours or the eastern part, the one that is a little bit southeast. And especially it's the region of Mesogaia, which means Middle Earth. And why Middle Earth? Because it's the land, very fertile since antiquity, that grows between mountains and then we have the sea of the other borders, or whatever since antiquity was between. It's a very huge fertile plain with vineyards, olive grove, pistachios, fig trees, you name it.
Yeah, and it also includes the Saronic Islands, which the larger area of Attica, which is where Hydra, where we were.
Yes.
And Aegina, which is known for their pistachios, and Portus, I think there's some other small, and the Athenian Riviera, where a lot of beautiful resorts and wealthy people go. But this is like a ferry ride to get to. If you go to those islands, it's like 90-minute ferry ride. So everything
amazing islands.
Yeah, amazing islands. We're going to be doing a whole different show on our experience in Hydra. But the name. Let's talk about the name, Voúryia, and what it means, because it's significant, particularly with your Cretan roots.
Voúryia. Okay, so it was COVID. It's the decision already made that I would like to have a travel agency that has to do with nature, with products, with slow travel. And when it was the time about to decide, so what is the brand and what's the story behind? So I looked deeper and I said, what do I carry as Marina, as a person? I carry family memories in Crete. I carry huge family gatherings and cooking and singing and nieces and cousins helping the older ladies and aunts and grandmothers cook. And so it had to have some kind of connection with the island of Crete. And then in a snap, I said, I need something that has to do with kind of traveling equipment. So I saw at that time an old picture of my great-great-grandfather, and he was holding a Voúryia, which is actually a hand-woven bag that the farmers many years ago used to have as an equipment, because they carried inside everything that was essential for the trip and their survival, of course, up in the mountains. So there was a little bit of water, of wine, depending, some bread, some olives. So I said, okay, it's a strange name. It's a difficult name, but it has a story to tell. And for me is a kind of symbol, a connection between the modern backpacker, because actually it has strings on the back and it looks like a backpack, and the traveler that wants to have a new kind of experience and explore, as I call, rural Athens, not the center, not downtown, but rural. What's in the outskirts, about a 40-minute drive, as you said.
Well, let's talk about this. So I have a Voúryia. I actually had a Voúryia. I didn't know it was Voúryia. I had a Voúryia. I can't pronounce Greek, sorry. And they're lovely, and they were where you put your provisions in. So it's like a knapsack here, and it's woven and very beautiful, and beautiful colors. Let's talk about we went on about a half day tour that ended with lunch. You've got different tours and they're seasonal. Let's talk about some examples. And I think we want to talk about where we specifically went first to highlight. And then we'll move into some other seasonal programs that you do and what's not to miss in terms of dining and other attractions. Let's start. I'm torn. Cheese or wine?
Oh, we can start with cheese because
We'll start with cheese because that's actually our first step.
So
Yeah.
but let's talk about the fact that, remember, Athens airport is only a 40-minute drive outside of Athens.
Right.
And all of this, and this whole region is the region that is near the airport. And interestingly enough, you don't hear the airplanes while you're there.
No.
But you can see them, and you know you're close. But it's a very tranquil area, and we just
look
really
at the
enjoyed it.
backdrop.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. Let's talk about the cheese because this is okay. Once we went to this family-run dairy established in the 1930s, which I'll let you say the name properly. That will never be the same again in the United States for us. Yeah, I don't know if
So
I'd ever go
true.
to Trader Joe's or Costco again. So let's talk about this dairy. First of all, how you the family name and who the family is.
Okay, so as I said, Mesogaia region has been very fertile since antiquity. So besides it did have a very old livestock production. We visited Costarelos Dairy. Is one of the biggest and the oldest, and I'm very a big fan of their products, and especially their barrel-aged feta cheese, which, as you had the chance to see and taste, of course, it's really intense. Is what I call the real feta. And whenever I have a gathering or I want to make a traditional cheese pie, I know where I have to go. Besides that, I think it's important also to say that, of course, we talk about a very good quality of milk, because milk is the base. So besides their feta cheese, their yogurt is really amazing, very velvety, also used as a dessert or in other recipes. And of course, my favorite dessert, which is the rice pudding with some cinnamon on top. I don't know, the way they make it reminds me of childhood memories. My grandmother in winter time, while she was preparing hot rice pudding, really comfort. So I really like that to share these memories and taste the dairy products of Costarelos with all my visitors. And usually it's a starting point. We start with that, and then we explore. Depending on what the guest, the traveler wants, can be a winery, olive tasting, all of them combined, honey tasting, visiting an ancient temple, you name it.
Well, I have to just say about we met Kyriakos Costarelos, the owner. I think he's third generation. The family established it in 1937. They also have a retail outlet, Kavallieraki, which is a beautiful neighborhood of Athens. Not a lot yet in the United States. So if you go, buy up.
Right, bring some back.
Our friends actually had a dinner party, Marina, and we went a few nights ago, and they had gone to Costarelos and brought back the cheeses. So we tasted, was it like 6 month, 12 month,
3 months, 6 months,
yeah,
12 month, and 18 month. Yeah.
and it went from butter to this barrel aged chestnut barrels, right?
No, that's beechwood.
Beechwood,
Yeah.
thank you,
Yeah.
beechwood
Chestnut.
there, and chestnut. Okay, so just amazing. The flavor and the umami was out of this world, and we tasted the yogurt, same thing. And you think you have great Greek yogurt, and then you go to Greece, and it's never the same. And I think we had a little bit of the ice cream. We tasted a couple things. This store has other provisions as well, so it's a great place when you are getting ready to leave to pack up and get everything ready, because they can have it ready to ship, airline friendly, as they say, which is really, really important. And I think he said, I think the owner, Kyriakos, said Milas Estiatorias, which is a wonderful restaurant in New York.
New York, yeah.
You may be
New York,
in the
yes.
cheeses, which would be great, because it is, I'm going to just say, if you go to Greece and you're not eating the feta and then the halloumi, you are crazy. Okay. Because that is just the best. I think we gorged on it every day. So that was a wonderful first stop. Now we're going to talk about the wine in general context. And we're going to mention a winery that we didn't go to, but we've tasted the wines that our friends in the wine business went and said, why didn't you go to the winery? And said, well, we were on a special tour. But let's talk about, because your family also has vineyards as well as fig groves
and olives as well.
So the wine, there's several wines made, but one of the most notable in this area is Retsina, which for many years had a negative connotation because it was not well made. It's got a little resin in it, but modern Retsina is amazing. And the centerpiece of it is a native grape that is one of the most widely planted white grapes in Greece, but mainly in this central Greek area, Savatiano. It's a low acid grape. It's sometimes blended with other white grapes with higher acid, like Assyrtiko and Rhoditas. But we tasted, before we went to Greece, we were at the New Orleans Wine and Food Experience. We attended a Greek wine tasting that our friend Marina did. And there was this, they're all great wines, but we both jointly loved the Retsina, and the producer is in this area,
Papagiannakis, and it's one of the most famous producers in the region of Mesogaia.
So our friends went and said they were treated like royalty, and they have a hospitality program. Now, while we didn't go to that, we want to throw it out because if somebody wants to do a winery visit, and you may work with, that's an example. You showed us some rogue, I think what do you call it when they just sprout up the vines? And they were there, Savatiano vines in your family farm. This is a terrific wine, really wonderful wines. What are some other grapes and wines in the area?
Let's talk a little bit about okay, so the region of Mesogaia, of Attica in general, let's not straight to Mesogaia, has been in the viticulture production since ancient ages. So the main local variety is Savatiano, which is the base of Retsina. And actually, as you said, the Retsina, my dad, my granddad, used to drink has nothing to do with the fine dining and the special aromas of the Retsina of today. Just a little bit of short story about how Retsina was, let's say, invented by accident in ancient times. So ancient Greek, they used the pine resin in order to as a preservative in the wine, and they glue the amphorae, the clay amphorae, around so that prevent the oxidization. So it was infused, the resin, it was infused inside the wine, and it also made the wine to be kept a little bit further. So once they opened, it said, oh, strange, but nice. Let's keep doing that. So they adding resin. So back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, unfortunately, the production of Retsina wine, a little bit bad quality of Savatiano, a lot of resin in Retsina inside because it the wine to last longer. And in a way that we can, my father said, Marina, try something. I know it was too hard to smoke. So, back after that, there were many producers in the area that said, like Papagiannakis wine, which has an excellent Retsina, and not only Retsina, they said that the quality of and let's start to experiment and put a little bit less of Retsina and maybe leave it or take it. So each winemaker makes his own decisions about the quantity that infuses or takes out. So now we have excellent retinas that are, some of them are really, really fine dining, and you can pair them with wine, with fish. You can pair them with roasted lamb or whatever, which is actually nice to enjoy because it has the sense of the time and not it doesn't have the other aromas of the Sabatiano. So Papainakos Retina is an excellent Retina, which I cherish very much as well.
Well, I think
we loved it.
it was wonderful. I think Racina, so the Sabatiano is drought and disease resistant, which is why it does really well in this area of Greece. And these days, that's getting more and more important. I think, I remember as a little girl hearing Greece, ooh, Retsina, ooh, it's kind of like, ooh, in the days of the old timey Chianti in the flask, but ooh, it's a stereotype. But no, not exactly. No Chianti Classico. Chiantis are some fabulous wines in Italy. This Retsina really, we need to taste more. We need to taste more of it, but it is a modern style, modern winemaking and sophistication has made Retsina a very nice, balanced wine to drink. It's not the same as the old days.
It's come a long way.
They've
modernized it. They've figured out how to make it so that it's
and there's
really enjoyable.
And there's another winemaker which I really appreciate, which is closer to Sepros, called Geeks Winery, which has another kind of dining Retina and Attica, another kind of interesting, just to mention.
Are there other wines that are notable to this Mesogaia area, or is it mainly the Retsina? Because I think that's mainly what we drank. I mean, really, when we were in Greece until we got to the northern Peloponneso, it was like we had the Retsina, the Mesogaia, and some Attica. We didn't really have much red wine until we went wine tasting in the northern Peloponneso. But are there any other wines notable to this specific area?
Well, the major, we all talk about Sabatiano and Retina, but there is also Rovditis, which is another local variety, different kinds of style than Sabatiano. And there are many other varieties that are actually, we find them in other parts of Greece, and but they do grow here, and they grow nicely, like Voúryia, which is also my favorite. It's very subtle, floral aromas and taste. We have Lignona, and of course, from the red wine, we have a lot of Merlot growing around the area, and also Mandillari, which is a Cretan variety. So they are just fine here. But Sabatiano is the toughest one. The toughest one.
It's a little grape.
Usually grows in a goblet shape, non-irrigated, because that gives a juice that's more condensed.
Right. And like much of the world right now, Greece is experiencing droughts and extreme heat. So you need really strong grapes right now to flourish. Now let's go back to food now. We tasted some olive oil, not just from the area, but elsewhere, and also fig jam, because you have fig trees. In fact, we saw a very old one. And when in season, you offer fig harvest tours. Let's talk about some of the specialty foods of this area that are cultivated agriculturally. Oh, okay. So that Marina is letting us know that.
So,
do I need to repeat the question? I'll repeat the question for you, Marina, because again, we're dealing with
you asked me about the kind of tours, right?
Food. So we're going to talk about some of the other agricultural products.
Yes.
That are grown
there are some tours, some experiences. Yes. Other products. Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about my favorite products, which are the figs. So, and there's also a legend saying that in ancient times, when King Xerxes wanted to conquer Attica, he said that it was not only for strategic reasons, but he wanted to conquer Attica because of this special fruit ancient Greek soldiers ate, and they became so fearful and so brave. So, he was overlooking for the figs, and especially the royal copolo, which is the that you tasted. Really huge fish, ruby red inside, full of antioxidants, full of taste. And this is one of my seasonal experiences I offer, because it only happens from let's say the end of July. So now it's the beginning until let's say the first 10 days of September. After that, figs. So no fresh figs, but the producer, which with whom I collaborate, she sells the figs wholesale, but keeps also a huge portion in order to make her marmalades, her jams. So figs, we have a lot of pistachio groves here. What we call the shell-shaped pistachio is the same that you probably found in Egina, very nice pistachio, and of course a lot of olives. So
Olives.
basically, it's a very rich portion.
So this really is, the ultimate Mediterranean diet. We also, I want to add, during our trip, I think we ate Greek salad every day. And a Greek salad in Greece is not the same as what they serve you in the United States. So Marina, in the United States, a Greek salad starts with lettuce and then tomato and feta and olives and onions and maybe
no
some
lettuce.
anchovies. Not the same in Greece. We learned it was mainly a big wedge of feta, which we love. Lots of amazing fresh tomatoes, and then many slices of raw onions and raw bell peppers, which neither of us like. So we ate a lot of, and some of our salads had olives. They did. You just said no olives, and that was no lettuce, right? No lettuce,
of course, always.
Yeah. So that was a traditional Greek
Black
salad.
olives,
So just
usually.
Yes, and black olives.
Yeah, black olive. Yeah, I think we had black olives. So we tasted olive oils with you. Now, you also do special cooking classes and tours around pastry and bread. Tell us about that.
So there are some cooking classes that have to do with traditional Greek dishes. So that's one part. But the other part is not actually a cooking class. It's about a special tradition, very dear in the region of Mesogaia, which is called the embroidered bread. And I have to thank my collaborator and friend, I don't know if she's watching us now, Yota Dracu, which is a researcher of the local history, and she really liked to raise awareness of, for this special tradition. So as she has instructed me, the people here years ago, they were poor and they didn't know what to write, how to express themselves. So what was basic in every house was water and flour. So they started making symbols of their wishes on special breads. So they could either be a bigger bread that was dedicated for a wedding, for a baptism, or smaller breads called turtulakia, which were small, let's say, wedding invitations. So people at that time, they didn't know how to write, they couldn't do anything. So what they did, they kneaded their wishes with flour. So there was the symbol of a pigeon for love. There was a symbol of lemon buds on top. How many? You counted the number of lemon buds, and that was said that you will have that amount of children. Acorns for power, geometrical shapes, you name it. So from time to time, we have these small workshops Dracu, which is really, really amazing about explaining and telling the story of each symbol. So it's made of salt dough here. So then we let it drain in the sun or in the oven for an amount of time. And the guests leave with their own special turtulaki, which is, the original invitation. Or if we don't have the time to let their creation dry, so they take as a gift an already made one, and then we donate their own embroidered bread to someone else, like exchanging some kind of wish.
Well, we have posted photos on the Connected Table.com blog and our Substack Connected Table, which will be releasing an article. They look like lace. They look like what we call in the United States doilies, with raised, three-dimensional doilies with intricate weavings and, as you said, symbols, and they're quite beautiful. When I saw the picture on your website, I was just like, wow, this is really spectacular.
They're pieces of art.
Yeah, they're pieces of art. You also talked, there was some traditional desserts and grape musk cookies. You gave us a bag of them to take back. Talk to us about those, the grape musk products.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's something traditional that we make usually the whole year round, but we especially make them end or near the end of harvest season, because that's when we have the fresh juice that we boil it in order to stop fermentation. And then we use this juice along with flour, cinnamon, cloves, extra virgin olive oil to make the famous must cookies. Because, as I say, when visiting Mesogaia, must cookies are a must. So very traditional, very flavorful. This is what we have as a treat the whole year round. But my favorite ones are the ones that they're really prepared during harvest season. So what else we do with the grape juice must, as we say, we do a traditional pudding called must pudding, which is actually flour with grape juice, and then we let it boil, and then it stabilizes at a point. It looks like a pudding, and we put on top some cinnamon, some sesame maybe, or some nuts, depending the recipe that we have, which also very very unique to taste.
We had that dish at the end of our lunch at the seaside restaurant where the sea is looking at us right there. I forgot, what was the name of the restaurant? You took
Miso's Cafe.
Miso's Cafe.
Yeah.
We had a wonderful, simple calamari, a Greek salad, and that
Miso's,
dessert.
yes.
Yes, it was wonderful, and really right on the sea. The blue, Greece blue, is spectacular, and you couldn't even notice the planes that flew overhead. It was just a world apart. It was very eye-opening. All the products. We brought home a big bag. We brought home the fig jam, the royal fig jam. We brought home the pistachios and the grape musk cookies. Of course, we have olive oil. And like I said, we had a Greece dinner party recently with all of our friends who also came back from Greece, and it was just an amazing experience. For our listeners, and are you planning, before we do the website, Marina, are you planning any additional types of tours that you're working on right now other than those you offer?
Mm-hmm. So actually, I am, let's say, try each year to offer something different, depending, of course, of what the traveler wants, because they usually say, "Oh, I saw this on your website, but can we change that at that?" So, and all my experiences are tailor-made to every traveler's need, which is really, really important, because I want them to enjoy their time while they are either in the airport or the center of Athens. So I am going to add more experiences at my Olive Grove. the one that I had the chance to welcome you. So if you remember, on the back there were two old wooden beehives, and that's a gift from a friend of mine called Spiros Kareas, which is a beekeeper. So I'm going to offer combined experiences, olive and honey, or olive and wine.
Very nice.
And I'm also doing some small construction, because since we almost are about the old grows they expand and we go up the hill, so there are plenty of space to host families and have some scavenger hunt, and have some kind of experience or child friendly that has to do with small archaeologists that they're going to find hidden objects that have to do with the myth of Artemis or other kind of myths in the area. So I'm really interested in doing this as an addition to the tours that I already have.
Oh, it sounds fantastic. Now, I think as we wrap up the show, I think it's important to underscore that Marina's tours are really handcrafted. You're not going to find her package tours aligned with other package tour places like Get Your Guide or Viator. She doesn't work that way. You go to her website. Which I'm going to spell out because the spelling is different from the pronunciation of Voúryia. It's www.vourya.com. And I think it's important to know that, because you book directly and you're a small business, so you want to handle it yourself. And as you said, you will customize. So
yes, one can book directly. I'm not in any kind of platform.
There's a very nice article about your company, Marina, also on discovergreece.com, which is a really good website just for general information on traveling to Greece, which I think I spent many hours looking at, because we planned our trip ourselves. And we were so lucky to have been introduced to you, Marina. It was one of the highlights of our 3 days in Athens. So thank you for showing us around. Thank you for joining us today and tonight from Greece. I hope that the temperatures don't get any hotter over there, because I know it's difficult for everybody. So stay cool, calm, and collected.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to show you around Mesogaia, to the place that I lived with my own family. It was a really pleasure spending time with you around. Let's meet again the next time you come. I have more places and more experience to show you.
We will definitely
producers and more other local.
We will definitely do that.
To that. Yes,
hopefully in the fall, in the autumn, or the spring, which are both beautiful times to visit.
It would be great. It would be great.
So we hope everybody watching and listening have enjoyed the show. If you watched, you saw a wonderful short video about Voúryia. It's also I believe it's on the website. If you're listening, thank you for letting us show that. Thank you to our engineer, Juan. We know this was challenging with audio because, again, we're in the middle of a heat wave. So we want to underscore that we are working with people that are living in the country when they're in Europe, and we are grateful that they can connect with us. Like Marina, we do this as a labor of love, and we want to bring you what we think is something that you will enjoy when you do what we love doing best, which is traveling, eating, drinking, and exploring, and being inspired, which is how we do things at the Connected Table.
You.
So thank you again. And for all of you, again, thank you for joining us. Follow us on the Connected Table on Instagram. Check out our Substack, the Connected Table, our blog. And as always, please stay insatiably curious. Thank you.